So today I want just to share with you my experiences since 2010 when I began releasing some apps. My case is special because I'm a one-guy company, so it's really different from other people. Even the previous people from Lulab, there are two. I am one guy, so it's really a different experience. Well, actually, I'm not really a one guy because we are a homeschooling family, and my kid, I have got two kids, and of course, there is a beta tester, and my wife is a kind of educator because she's doing the homeschooling of my kids. So what I want to show you which kind of apps I've created, why I created them, and why they are successful. I'm not sure about it, but I will tell you what I'm thinking about why it is successful. And like on my blog, after I want to show you the reality of the App Store. What is the money? What you can earn if you have a successful app on the App Store. So my story began in 2010, and I think like many of you, you've seen the iPad and say, wow, I want to create something for this. Yeah, it was, you know, my background is user interface design. I did research, development on this, on user interface. And for me, it was clear that it was the next big wave of user interface. I wanted to be a part of it. So I say, yeah, oh, what kind of apps can I do? That's a good question. I say, so of course, like I said, I've got kids, and kids, they love screens. And at this time, they were in love with my iPhone. So I thought, yeah, it could be really great if I can create something for my kids. But also, I think I wanted to create also something with my kids, actually. Because we're a homeschooling family, I say, yeah, it could be a family activity. I could work with my family. I work from home. It's really cool. And I say, okay, let's try to do something with my family. And so, since we're a homeschooling family, we've got, you know, in a homeschooling family, you've got your house is like a little bit like a school. You've got a lot of materials everywhere, books and everywhere. And I was looking at my kids playing, you know, with Montessori materials. We love usually the Montessori materials. And I say, yeah, it could be really great if I can port these activities, these educational activities on iPad and put some fun, actually put some magic, of course, in it. So the goal was really for me to get some proven activity, educational activity, and port them to the iPad and use all the power of the iPad to empower the kid. And for me, yeah, magic is knowledge and fun, of course. If it is not fun, you know, kids don't come back, it's useless actually. And actually, I've got a lot of fun in my life, my kids too, so I don't want learning to be boring. So I like apps like Labs or Dragon Box and all the kind of learning tools that are really fun. So I don't think my apps are fun like Dragon Box and Lulab. It's another question, but at least it must be fun. And what I wanted really to create, you know, it was in the spirit of Montessori and a lot of education methodology. It's create a place where the kids can experiment, discover things. You know, you want to learn the models. He wants to learn something. He needs to experiment and try by himself in an autonomous way to understand what is behind the learning goals. And you know, it's like, so I wanted actually the iPad to be a teacher, like a teacher that can explain to the kid how it works. You know, how words are built, what is a number, what is a quantity, and use all the power of the iPad to do that. So that was really actually the starting point of all my apps. So I will show you now some small demo of all my apps and see how it's done inside, what is the magic. And what is dust, of course, because there is some dust. The first app I released in 2010, and now I think I've done 5 updates or something, because I update my apps every time.
When's the best time to switch?
And so it was really something my kids were doing, you know, a picture spelling activity, and I just put it in 3 months, I think, for the first prototype on the iPad.
Sun. A, B, K, D, A. S, A, N. S, A, N, N. S, A, N, sun.
This is the fun part. Actually, when you see this, it's all the kid need to learn is inside the app. He can touch everything and understand how it works. And there is a lot of, I try also to put a little fun when it drags letters and it moves a little bit. So kids love to use this app. There is no character or it's not a gamification, but we love to use it. So the next year, I wanted to go further with the movable alphabet. The movable alphabet is something magical because you can build words, but I say, yeah, you can build words, but you don't hear the words built. So I say, yeah, but the iPad can do it.
My iPad is magic. A, magica. L, magical. My iPad is magical. My iPhone as well as S-A. Y, say. S, says. O, wello. A, hello. My iPhone says hello.
So it's really something open-ended environment when they can build words and try and listen what they want to do. The fun is just that it speaks. Actually, for kids, it's just they build silly words, you know, and they're happy with that. They just build words, try experiments, and it's just fun for them.
Yeah. How many combinations of voice recordings do you have? Because it's not just the 28 letters, is it?
There is a text. This is a text-to-speech engine, but I've got some difficulties because text engine are not done for that. So I've got fine-tuning, a lot of fine-tuning for each language to have a good feedback on a good sound.
Now, had you ever seen either Talking Text Writer or Dr. Pete's Talk Writer, any of those text-to-speech things?
Sorry?
The answer is no. There's been this idea of dragging and building words out of letters and then hearing them and playing with them like blocks.
Yeah.
Was done back with the Apple II, the Echo speech synthesizer. Had you seen any of that work before?
No, I didn't see it.
It's incredible. So this idea goes way back to a guy named O.K. Moore in the 60s. This idea of letting children actually touch here or click in here, and it's incredibly powerful as a phonemic or a phonics builder. And when I saw this, it was incredible that you'd done this. But I was very curious about it. This has such powerful implications for emerging readers.
And you will see that I think that the schools will love it. I think teachers love it because I saw a lot of this to school. So I think it's yeah.
And you need to play with it. Your finger needs to play with it, and you need to spell a dirty word with it.
Yeah, of course.
S-H-I-T. Get it on there. Do it because you got to try it, and you don't let that happen. Correct?
Yeah. Further story, if you want a little story, actually it's Apple. I thought about it, but I sent the version like this to Apple, and after Apple This has been featured on the homepage. And Apple told me, yeah, can you add an option to remove bad words? And so I had to, there is a checkbox, you can check checkbox and say all the bad words. But by default, bad words are not said. And spelling is, I think, spelling is coming after understanding how words are working. So you can do the spelling after. The first thing is important for the kids is to understand letter sounds and everything. So the next year it was my less successful app, a little bit of dust. I like it a lot, but actually you see it's not fun enough.
Can you get 640? 1, 2, 12, 112, 117, 119, 120, 10, 20, 120.
So this is an environment where the child can experiment and really understand if you want to experiment what is a number, a quantity. And there is a goal also to find a number, but I love that it is open-ended and you can really try to, and the child can experiment and discover things. But actually I think it's less successful because there is no fun. It is not fun enough, I think. Learning is fun, but you have also to add something like, I don't know, a buzzer, how you call it, whistle, or something that pops. More fun because kids don't come back to the app.
Bells and whistles?
Bells and whistles, thanks.
It's okay.
So this is the last type I released in English, and it's writing wizard. This one is really successful because you see there is a lot of fun. I think you already seen it. You already demo it a little bit.
A.
So this one is coming from the sandpaper Montessori, but like I said before, my inspiration is coming also a lot from letter schools. I think you know these apps, and this was the haha moment when I saw the letter schools app. The issue that with letter school you cannot customize your app. You cannot write words. You cannot set difficulty, change the size, or something you need when you want to adapt the activity to the child, which is very important, I think, for school. You need a lot of options and settings so that they are happy, you can customize the app for each child. So, you've seen the app. Now I will show you the figures, all the money I've got with these 4 apps, okay? And I will show after the localization, which are very important too. So, since 2010, it's almost $1 million. So it's quite a lot for one guy. And last year it was more than 300K. And so I really didn't believe it was possible when I started. Really, I thought it was not a big market like this. And you can see that even Montessori Crosswords last year it made 100K. And so when you've got a user base, I think a critical mass for an app, I think your sales are not going down too fast. It's going down, but it gives you a good power. If you look at this graph, it's funny because perhaps some people will recognize things like this. The bump of course. You know what has a bump? Featuring. So yes, so the market, about the business of the market. The business of the market, this is a problem. Yeah, this is a featuring. This is an update and a featuring. This is a featuring. This is a featuring. This is a featuring. This is no featuring. So yeah, we all know about that, and you can see in these graphs that unique featuring. I think this one is not a featuring, it's a featuring in New York Times. So doing marketing, I try, it's really hard. So you need to be visible in a way or another, and it's really hard. Even for me, I'm here from since 2010, but even with my last app, as we will see, it was not easy to be visible. So I was talking about localization, and everybody is talking about localization. Barry told you it's very important to do. Okay, you add 30%. I mean, I do some localization in French, English, French, some in Germany, some in Sweden, but not all the apps are localized, but it adds 30% to all my revenue. So it's really a lot. So think about it when you do an app. Think if it's not too difficult to do a localization afterwards. Because for your business model, it's important. This is revenue per country. So you see.
What languages are they?
It's for all my apps. So
But this is all in English?
no, this is for all my apps. This is I've got about 4 apps in English, and each app is in French. Some are in German and some in Swedish. You can check on my website if you want to know exactly. But you see that USA is still very, very important, but it's only 50%. So let's talk a little bit more about localization, because, like I said, localization of educational apps can be really tricky. If it is an app to learn to read, you have to start, you have to change everything. It's really, really tricky. So you have to think about it when you do your apps. And also, I've got a lot of mistakes doing doing localization, and my mistake is that it was not good enough. Your apps must be your localization must be perfect. I mean, it's education. You have to be perfect when you localize something, or it won't work. So it can be a lot of work, and I've made a lot of mistakes. For example, I localized Word Wizard in Dutch, and I think it's not working because there's some issues that I don't understand. And so be careful with that. You have the choice to do one app or several apps. I've made both. Actually, I think it's better if you can do just one app, of course. It's better because Apple prefer to have one app to be featured all around the world. But sometimes you cannot do it because of the size of the app. And one of the other advantages is that you can sell the price. You can change the price per country. And for example, in Sweden, I saw the price is 2 times the price in the US because we got more purchasing power. The euro is more expensive. So in US it's $3. In France it's €3, and in Sweden it's €5. So it can be also something interesting, but you got more. It's more difficult to be featured. It's more difficult to handle all of the updates and everything. Last thing is marketing. If you market in a language you don't know, it's really a nightmare. So I don't do it. Okay, so now just have a look at this use case. It's very interesting. It was a lot of writing Usar, which is pretty successful now. And you look, this is featuring, and then 1 week after, no, only 100 a day, $100 a day. So I was not very happy with it because I spent a lot of time on this app and say, wow, what can I do? So I tried to, the easy way, say, oh, I put the app for free for 2 days. So I called some blogs and everybody was happy to feature the free promotion, especially moms with apps, App Friday, which is very important for your visibility if you do a free promotion. And the result that I was not very optimistic, but look at it. Boom. All the sales were very good. So after the promotion. So after, the issue is that, everybody is loving writing Usar. It has 5 stars. The review on the App Store is 5 stars. All the bloggers give 5 stars. I've got some Apple Learning, the best tracing iPad, and so everybody is loving this app. But what was missing here, it was just visibility. And even the App Store featuring, it was not featuring on the home page, but in the education category. And even the featuring was not enough to have visibility. So you have to find a way to get visibility. And if you've got a great product that everybody is loving, you will sell apps. It's not a problem. So another point for localization, because when I released an update for Christmas with localization, it was featured in Europe, I think all across Europe and in Spanish country, and it was really great.
What happened right there?
I will talk about it. Do you have an idea? Actually, all the spikes are the same as this one. Very small spike, but big spike. And what do you think it is?
The LA School District bought your app.
You're right. This is school purchase. All of the spikes you see here are school purchase.
So if there's a lesson here that there's a sleeping giant out there known as the United States public school system.
Yeah. So I made this slide. It's a little bit complex, but just you understand how much you can earn if you are in education section. For example, in April, my rank was about 50 in US iPad education, and it was $140 a day. It's not a lot of money when you think about it. I'm a one-guy company, it's okay, but for a big company, it's not a lot of money, if you're a floor or something. So it's really tricky. I think the market is really tricky currently, and that's why you have to do localization. Because if you are only in the US market, it won't work. So to continue on the school market, this is $140 a day, but there is $60 a day for each for a school market. So it's impressive. Actually, last year I sold 20,000 units of Word Wizard to schools, and in the US it was 15,000. So it's a lot of money. So everybody is asking me, so how can you do a good educational app? I want to sell to schools. I say, I'm not a specialist. I really don't know exactly how you do that. But the feedback I've got is that you need a tool that lets the kids explore in an open-ended way something. It's clear that they love this. And you need also a lot of options, like I said, to settings to adapt to the child. So they can customize the user experience, the child experience. You need also to create profile, be able to create profiles and record the activity of the kids. For example, in the Writing Wizard app, it records all the tracing of the kid. You can replay all the tracing the kids has done, and the teacher love it. And they can send it to the parents, you know? You have all the tracings the kids have done during a day, and at the end of the day you say, you can send this to the parents. So they love this kind of things.
How did you work that with COPA? How does that work out for you with COPA?
I don't share anything. Very, for
But
sharing.
you get their permission for the recording?
Recording of what?
If you're recording a kid's activity, if you're recording a hand strokes.
Yeah, if you stay on the device, it's not a problem. If it stays on everything you save on the device, it's not a COPA problem. After, if you export, there is a gate, and it is the teacher that sends it to the parent. So there is something interesting also, is that I think you know there is a checkbox on the iTunes Store when you can give a 50% discount to schools if you sell more than 20 units. Actually, for my apps, the checkbox is not enabled. I don't do discount for it because I believe $3 for an apps like this is cheap. You know, a device is it's very expensive, and I don't feel it's necessary to enable the discount for a $3 app. I mean, if your app is $20, it's $30, okay, but $3, I think it's not necessary. And I've got some emails sometimes from people asking me to enable the discount because I want to buy the 500 units, and you know we have a limited budget. And in this case, I enable the discount for 1 day, and they buy the units. I'm okay to offer a discount for school with limited budget, but it's not necessary to do it for all schools, I think.
Yeah, can I make a comment here?
Yeah.
So there's another developer called Tinker, which is really interesting, that do coding for kids in schools, and they have levelware that it's kind of like the same base as Scratch, but then they have levelware on top, so you can progress through. And in the App Store, you have to pay for each of those extra steps. But their strategy with schools is that they sell a school license for $2,000 per school. And in a very short period of time, they managed to sign up 8,000 schools in the US.
Okay.
So there is a different way to approach packaging your product up for schools that can make you a lot more money than going this way.
There are on iPad?
Yeah.
I don't know how to do that. How you can do that, but that's interesting. I have to speak about it. Okay, so this is, let's see rapidly the pricing strategy. So all my apps are $3 in the US. I think this is the sweet spot for me. Actually, I tried even last week to raise the price, and it's not effective. I think it's a good spot for me. I don't know why, but currently it seems to be the good spot for me. I wanted to try free and in-app purchase, not consumable, please. And because I saw, for example, if you look at the top grossings, the originators series, endless series, there is one that is paid, but the other are free, and it's free with in-app purchase, and it's working very well. So I think it can work also. And subscription, like I told to Barry this morning, I said, yeah, that's the dream of every developer. You have a subscription model, and after you don't have to chase for a user, and well, it could be great, but I can do it. So marketing, I'm really not a specialist in marketing, and if you want a little story, it's when my first marketing decision was to choose the name of my company called LEscapadou, and nobody remembers it. But you are most of people here are English, so you may thought perhaps French remembers the name. No, French also, but don't remember it. So it was really I learned a lot of things of marketing, and What is important in marketing is just that you have to spend time on marketing. And it's a full-time job if you want to do it correctly. You see Barry is doing a lot of data analysis I don't have the time to do this, but it should be great for my business if I could do it. But you have to do the PR, the optimization of keywords, contacting bloggers. Bloggers will help you if they love your product, like Warren helped me to be recognized. And so this is a lot of stuff, but you have to do it if you want to succeed. So now the holy grail is Apple featuring. And I want to say something about, because all the numbers I show was when the kids category was not existing. And I was featured in the education category. And the education category was the entry point for all the parents. Now it is the kids category. Okay? And the last time I was featured in the education category for the cursive writing wizard, there was no big nice bump like this. Because nobody goes to the education category anymore. They go to the kids. Because now on the iPad store, you've got a button, and the button is kids. And before it was education. So it may be more difficult now for people doing only education apps and not kids apps to be visible, thanks to Apple. So this is an important note you have to remember if you do educational, not gamification. I think that's better if you do gamification now because it will be showing kids and not in education. So I want to finish with something about Android, because I don't do Android, but actually I've got a friend who tell me, hey, I have nothing to do, I can port your app on Android. Oh, yeah? Why not? So he did it, and it got 30% of the revenue on Google Play and Amazon, but last year it was 10K for one app, so there is only one app, Montessori Crosswords, on Android, and it was 100K on iOS. So
yeah, is that Amazon and
Google Play?
Any other deals like Samsung or?
No, I didn't do that. I don't know if it's actually. I'm really lazy with Android. Yeah, so I have too much things to do with iOS. So of course it will be a shame. It's 10K. It's a lot. It's money. So find a cheap way to do it. Yeah. Find a way to do it correctly, because it's money. But don't spend too much money on Android. And for marketing, Google Play has no featuring, or really small, one page. and on the other hand, Dan told me that he was featured on the Amazon, and it was pretty good. Yeah, Amazon App Store has a pretty good featuring selection, and it can be really good for yourself. But I don't know yet. Okay, so I want just to finish and to resume why I think it was pretty successful for me. So it's quality, of course. It's always the best marketing is a good product. Yeah. So according to reviewers and teachers, they love my apps, and I think it's the most important thing. The timing, I was here just when the iPad was released. It was very important. I built the user base. I know some bloggers and people, even if they don't remember LEscapadou, they remember a little bit of my name, and it helps. Of course, Apple featuring was also really, really important, as you've seen on the graph. It helped to grow my user base. Also, I did a lot of marketing, even if I don't like it, I did it. It's important. Finally, school market are beginning to be really, really important for me. And the most important perhaps, it's I've got really low cost. I'm alone, I'm a one guy company, so it's really easy for me to be profitable. So thank you. And you can find, usually I put all my numbers on my blog, and if you've got questions, don't hesitate.